And we are back here on 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO mornings. And as promised, of course, it's Thursday. You look at the clock at 7:35, and that means that Jerry Reynolds, your Car Pro, is on line one. Good morning, Jerry. Okay. There. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Finally.
Good morning, guys.
I pushed the right button now. How are things?
You know, considering everything going on in the world, I think for me it's pretty good.
Well, we just heard a story that the oil is now $30 a barrel. So
yeah, I just heard that.
Are we going to have 35-cent gasoline?
Boy, I don't know. You would sure think that it would follow. Of course, my experience is gasoline prices fall a lot slower than they rise when there's movement.
That's what happens with most markets. They don't like to go downward, but they're okay with going up.
Yes, it makes money. This week I've been driving around a new entry into the SUV world, believe it or not, the Cadillac XT6, which is a 3-row SUV, but it's one of the mid-sized ones, if you will. Cadillac found itself with a hole in their lineup. They've got the XT5, which is a 5-passenger mid-sized SUV, and then from there you had to go all the way to the Escalade, which, too big for a lot of people and certainly too expensive for a lot of people, as Escalades today, well-equipped, are into 6 figures. So Cadillac built this vehicle to be right in the middle of those two, and it does a great job, I got to tell you. The big surprise for me was how roomy the third-row seat was, because this vehicle doesn't look from the outside all that big. But, boy, when you get inside, they did a great job engineering this thing with a bench. This one's got a bench seat in the middle, and then the 2 chairs in the third-row seat, which would comfortably fit, good average-sized adults. And typically you don't see that in vehicles this size, especially considering this one has got a good amount of cargo room behind the third-row seat. So
let me...
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Is this size of it like an Explorer or more of like an Edge size?
No, it's more Explorer size.
Okay.
Probably just a hair, maybe a few inches longer than a Ford Explorer.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked a lot like size-wise and appearance-wise like my Highlander.
Agreed. It's about the size of your Highlander, but boy, this thing really runs and drives well. It handles good. A lot of amenities inside. It's even got night vision, which would be cool, especially out where you guys are.
Yeah. What's the window sticker on that thing?
71 and some change. So
Wow.
That's in line with everything else that's out there right now, as far as luxury midsize SUVs. I mean, it's right there. So, and that's, as we've learned, and we talk about this almost every week, it seems like, but as we learn, the manufacturers are jacking the window sticker prices up to allow themselves room for incentives down the road. And I think that's what we'll probably see here once these things get on the ground and people start buying them and seeing them.
Oh.
So let's see. I like it. It's a vehicle I'd buy myself if I needed something like this. It's all-wheel drive. It's got plenty of power, running over 300 horses, still getting 24 to 25 out on the highway, which isn't bad for a vehicle this size. But, boy, Cadillac has done a really good job with their styling, especially the front ends. You can just tell now a Cadillac at a glance, and at one time they just sort of blended in with everything else. Nice vehicle, nice SUV.
Okay.
It's the XT6.
Got 2 very important questions. Number one is, did you say night vision?
Yes, I did.
What the heck is night vision on a car?
It sits right in the middle of the dash, and it's generated by heat.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going down the highway, a dark highway at night, and there's a deer down in front of you, or a person walking down the road or whatever, it will pick them up and outline it, and it will really call your attention to it. It's pretty cool. There's certain places that this could come in really handy.
Yeah, we go up to Tennessee, and they have a lot of hills up there, a lot of trees, and a lot of deer that like to run out in front of you. So
Yep, get down the hill country here in Texas, and you'll run into a lot of that too. Hogs, all kind of things.
the second question I have now, this is something, Cadillac there for a while. I don't know if they still do it, but they were putting the Corvette engines in some of their vehicles. Are they still doing that? And can you get this one with that?
No, you can't get this one with it, but
Okay.
a couple of the cars we had for a lot of years, the CTS V.
Yeah, that and and they had the station wagon version of it with
Yes,
a
they did.
Cadillac,
Yes,
or I'm sorry, with a Corvette engine, and you're looking at it and you're like, that thing won't go anywhere, and then it's got a Corvette engine in it.
Oh, and it'll fly.
Yeah.
I've reviewed a couple of them. I had the ATS-V, which is a smaller one. I think was really fast. They're coming back out with the V models for 2021. So we'll see those vehicles again. But they've been out of production for a couple of years. We're never big sellers, but boy, they had a very, very exclusive membership, and the people who had them loved them.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, but I've got 6 kids, so if you could put something like that in a vehicle that I can take I don't have 6 kids. I got 4 kids. It's a family of 6. Don't give me 2 extras there. But but if you can't drive the family around, then it's just not worth buying. And most of your fast vehicles are going to be not able to carry more than 2 to 4 people.
You need a Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT.
Oh yeah, I've read about those too.
Yeah, with 707 horses.
Yeah.
That'll get you there in a hurry.
If my wife would let me have something like that, then. So what's good?
Don't tell her what's under the hood.
What's going on CarProUSA.com?
One story I wanted to call people's attention to. We've talked about this, and I have harped on it for years. Ford Focus and Fiesta transmissions have been real problematic from 2012, really up through 2016, and finally a judge ruled on a class action settlement this week that's going to affect everybody that owns one of these. Those cars are going to be bought back. It's going to cost Ford somewhere in the area of $5 million to do this for the vehicles that are still left out there. The good news is, if someone wasn't part of this settlement, they can still opt in. And that in itself is a little bit unusual. So some relief for those people there. And I had a fun story at CarProUSA.com. We were able to get a hold of what the presidential candidates drive. And it's some of them have dropped out now, but I still thought it was interesting. We know what the president rides around in, but what Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Mayor Pete and Tom Steyer, what they drive, it's a pretty diverse list and fun to look at.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing, just to remind, you've got the Dallas Auto Show coming up. I'm just looking on your news page here, March 18th through 22nd.
As of now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, because of
there's a lot of things being canceled in Dallas. We had a big St. Patrick's Day parade that drew 125,000 people. That's been canceled. The auto show for now is still on. We will see.
No, that's okay.
All right. Well, Jerry,
always getting the crazy news.
Yeah, we're up against the clock, Jerry. Always good to hear from you. And we want to remind everybody that you will be live on this radio station, as you are every Saturday from 11 to 1.
I'll see you guys Saturday. Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you, Jerry. Back with more in a moment.